Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today is a big talk about what seeds I have already started. We are between 6 and 7 weeks out from my last frost date, which I just double checked is April 8th. But here in Georgia, the last couple of years, we've had some late frosts. So I'm really treating my last frost date as mid-April, maybe April 20th. My cat has wanted to join us here. But I have a ton of seeds in front of me. And this is going to be one of those videos where you can like fold laundry or do the dishes, have something going in the background, just to hear all the different varieties that I've started and maybe get some ideas on seeds that you need to go ahead and start too if your last frost date is about 6 to 7 weeks out. So I've got it in two categories. There are seeds that I've already started outside. I'll start with first. Here right now, it is like 76 degrees. I have my windows open in this room. My cats are sitting at the windows enjoying it. You might hear cars drive by. And it's been warm like this all week with a little bit of rain on and off. So I thought this is just perfect germinating weather. So I have peas, first and foremost, 3 different kinds. I wanted to finish off this Oregon sugar pod pack. This is a snow pea, so it's those flat kind of peas where they're totally edible, but it's like a flatter Asian style, stir fry style pea. And last year, all of my peas came to harvest in May, but I planted them and they germinated at the end of February. So I planted these at the start of this week. So it was like April 20th. I'm thinking of April. It was like February 20th when I put all these peas in the ground. So I'm hoping with this warm weather, they'll germinate faster and I might be getting peas maybe in April. So I also planted some classic Oregon Sugar Pod 2 snow peas. This is one that I've done several times and I've really enjoyed it. And then I had got a sale from Botanical Interest over the late summer, I think, and I got a bunch more snap peas. These are the Sugar Daddy snap variety. These were just what were on sale, but I think they'll be very good. I've never tried these before, but I have 50 grams of them, so I hope they're good. I asked my husband which one he was more excited about, snow peas versus snap peas, and he was saying snap. So I really hope they're good. Last year I harvested hundreds of peas in May, and it was one of my most cost-effective things to grow because I never buy fresh snap peas from the store unless they're on sale. It's just so expensive. Now, I've also put some lettuce and arugula outside. There's a trailer going by, I guess. This is some arugula from Botanical Interest. This pack has gone such a long way for me. It's like the 3rd year I've planted from this pack. And I have realized with arugula, just direct sowing it is the way to go. It is so much hassle to transplant greens, little greens like this and what I'm about to talk about. So with arugula, even last 2021, I planted my arugula seeds between my peppers at the end of summer, and they germinated in the shade of the peppers. And then come spring 2022, I had a big arugula patch. Now this last winter that we just experienced, the polar vortex, at Christmas time, just took out my arugula patch, so I didn't have any. So I planted a little bit of arugula. I mainly like to put it on sandwiches. We do like arugula in salads, but more so I put it on turkey sandwiches for work, and it just makes it feel fancy. But also for work and for salads and things, lettuce. I'm going to show you the varieties that I planted because I wanted to pick ones that were more labeled as heat tolerant. The Merlot free lettuce seeds from Baker Creek a couple years ago, I have just had great success with. I'm actually almost out, so I probably will let my Merlot lettuce go to seed and then harvest lettuce seeds for the first time this year. It is a leaf lettuce, and the leaves are petite. It's not like a big leaf. It's more like the size of my palm at most. But it gives great color to your salads. And Merlot lettuce is the only true purple one I have. I've got some other funny shapes though. I've got the oak leaf. This is my 2nd or 3rd season growing this. It is a fun lettuce because of the shape. It really is like an oak leaf, very triangular. I've got Marvel of Four Seasons, which I think I grew in the fall, but not enough that I have an opinion on it. I wanted to try this one because it says that it is more tolerant to heat and won't turn bitter immediately. Another summery one is Ice Queen, and up at the top it says Summer Crisp. I've tried growing this, and either I think what it was is I grew them inside and transplanted them, and they just did not do well. So I'm just direct sowing. We're gonna see how those go. Another new one is the Paris Island Cos Romaine. You've noticed so far maybe that I do mostly leaf lettuces, but I'm going wild. We're gonna try romaine because they're supposed to be better tolerant to warm weather. I'm also going wild because I got this pack of iceberg lettuce from M.I. Gardener like in 2020 in the grab bag at the end of the year, where they say if you spend, at the time it was like $15, they'll give you 30 packs of seeds. But the whole deal was you didn't know what seeds you'd get. My husband laughs at how much lettuce I got, and I've never grown the iceberg one. So I thought, hey, it's a shame I haven't opened this in 2 years, so we'll throw some out. And this poor battered pack, the Bib lettuce. This pack I bought in 2018 before I really was into gardening. My husband actually at the Lowe's store wanted some seeds to start at our apartment, and of course we had no sun, nothing grew, but he wanted to start seeds, so this pack is from way back then, and I still have a good amount of seeds in here. Now, this isn't one of the more heat tolerant varieties, but I really like the leaf shape, so if I can get some good Bib leaves in the early spring, I'll be happy. And then my little mesclun mix from Botanical Interest, which was like their 2021 free seed pack. So that's all the lettuce. I do think that I'm going to do a second round of lettuce here maybe in a couple weeks. A lot of my lettuces are different lengths, so I'm not going to have just a massive pile of lettuce grown all at once. My little leaf lettuces will start coming in anywhere between 20 to 40 days from germination. And then like the romaine and the iceberg, if they do well, they're more like 70 days. Yeah, 70 days to harvest or more. So I'll have some that are ready sooner, some for later. Hopefully I can enjoy lettuce between like March, April, maybe May if I'm lucky. So I'm going to transition to the indoor things now. Indoors, I just started soaking beets and Swiss chard. I was not going to grow Swiss chard. This is the rainbow pack. But then I started thinking that it is really one of the better greens to grow in the heat. And it's pretty. And so I'm growing Swiss chard now. For beets, I had such good success last spring because I planted them indoors, which is controversial, but it's what Charles Dowding does. So I thought, well, if he does it, it must be a good way to do it. And he was right. And then I transplanted the beets from my little indoors, outdoors, and they did miles better than the beets I had direct sown. I've never had success with direct sowing beets, and I've tried like 2 or 3 seasons now. The only ones that have ever come to anything are ones I transplanted. So I'm soaking seeds, I'm going to plant them, and then I expect like in the next 3 weeks. So by mid-March, I'm hoping to be able to put them in the garden and then just wait for them to form. The Chioggia variety, I think that's how that is said, did well for me last spring, so I'm planting more. Let's see. I also had good success with the Detroit Dark Red. Y'all, this pack from the Dollar Tree back last year, what, 25 cents? It's for 2 grams of beet seeds. I still have so many in here. I'm never buying Detroit Dark Red from a seed company other than the dollar store, because you can't beat that price. Touchstone Gold is a new one for me. And also Avalanche, the white, yellow style beets, because I wanted some different flavors in the mix. And then I'm trying these again. I'm almost out. My Robin beets. These are a hybrid from Botanical Interest, and they're supposed to be like petite. So I figure, worst case scenario, I have a huge crop of beets and I pickle some. I would love that. I love pickled beets. And otherwise, if we just get a few here, a few there, I'll roast them in the oven. Fortunately, my husband really likes beets as well, so he'll eat them. They're a little bit of work to prepare. You know, you take the skin off, and it's a little bit of work, but they're just such a novelty, and I wouldn't pay for them at the grocery store. They're just, it'd be like $3 or more for those when I could buy a pack for $3 and just play with it. Now, indoors, I also have gotten my peppers going. I wasn't in the mood to start seeds earlier this month, but last weekend, so it would have been like the 17th of February, I started my peppers. And I really trimmed down my pepper growing this year. Pepper growing, it's all going to come to harvest at the late summer. And we're going to be really busy the late summer, so I'm not looking to do a lot of peppers. Which, if you saw last year, I grew like 17 varieties of peppers. So if you want to see a lot of peppers, go check out my pepper videos from last year. So the ones that made it this year, the best of the best, my trusty California Wonder bell peppers. I still have so many in this pack from 2020. I grow like 6 or 7 of these every year. These are just easy, reliable bell peppers for me here in Georgia. The plants get tall, but I'd say no more than like 2.5 to 3 feet. I always have a good cluster of bell peppers in each one, so I can let some ripen to red and some I'll harvest green. So from like late June until frost, I don't need to buy bell peppers from the store. It's so cool. I'm growing the Lesia variety again. Nicole Smith Gardening is who I think it was Nicole Smith turned me on to these, and they're so sweet. Like the packet says, one of the sweetest of all peppers, and they have a really thick wall. So I really like letting them go red. Like I waited and let them go red all summer. I waited till they turned red, and they were so just exceptionally sweet. But I did try them green, and they were just fine. I think my first experience with Lesia being green, I did not like it. I don't know why. Maybe it was a bad pepper. But the rest of them were solid green bell peppers. So, I also like that these plants are short. They're like 2 feet tall at most. And then they would just do flushes of peppers where there'd be these massive, like fist size red peppers on them, like 3, maybe 4, with a little one. So like 3 big ones, 1 little one on the way. And so I got like 3 rounds of peppers off of each plant. That's how they earned their spot for this year. I'm also growing my sweet banana peppers. I love these quick pickled. They're just so crispy and easy to grow. They were the first sweet pepper that I harvested last year, my sweet bananas. Got these seeds from in my gardener. And I do have some hotter peppers, but I'm really dialing it down. So these are all new to me. These are all new. I've never grown any of these hot ones. Pepperoncini. I think this is like semi-hot. It says 100 to 500 on the Scoville range. The ones that come on salads and you can buy pickled, sometimes they're kind of hot, but they're not hot enough that I think of them as spicy. They're just they're not mild, So I'm going to grow these and quick pickle them. I think just because I'm not trying to do a lot of canning this year, because during July and August, we're going to be so busy. So I'm not going to be canning because that's prime canning season. That's why I'm thinking, let me grow fewer peppers and let me do ones that I can just quick pickle if I even want to. Now, cayenne peppers are on the list. I'm kind of low on cayenne, and I don't think I'll finish what I have before these are harvestable. So maybe this will just perfectly come in right when I need it. But I do have a dehydrator, and dehydrating peppers really isn't that hard compared to canning. So I'll dehydrate some cayenne, and worst case scenario, if I'm too busy, I can freeze the cayenne and dehydrate it over the winter. Homegrown cayenne. Those seeds were on sale at a garden center, and my husband was like, oh, gotta grow it. So, you know, can't go wrong having cayenne. Now, like a lot of people, Sugar Rush Peach has caught our fancy. We bought these at Baker Creek. I went there and was just utterly overwhelmed. If you want to hear my whole video, I did a Baker Creek seed haul video last fall telling you about my experience there. And I saw these and was like, okay, I don't know what to buy, but everyone's been talking about this one, so we're gonna get Sugar Rush Peach. I live in Georgia, the peach state. I don't know, maybe in the future years I'll do like peach jelly or something and make it like hot with this, or peach salsa. But for this year, we're just gonna have these as a novelty. I'm gonna grow one plant, and I hear they take a long time to ripen. So I don't know, maybe it'll be July and I'll just throw them in the freezer and figure it out later. Tabasco peppers are the last one. From the peppers I'm gonna show you, that's all. Tabasco peppers, I hear, are so prolific, you really only need one plant. So we're just gonna do one. And here in the South, we love collard greens with hot pepper vinegar. You go to a restaurant, and if you order collard greens as a side, you just kind of expect that they'll have hot pepper vinegar for you. So you can make that yourself. And I have a bottle of my own hot pepper vinegar in the fridge with serrano peppers, which are good, just as good. But Tabasco are more traditional. And there's Tabasco hot sauce and all that. So we're gonna grow these. And my goal is to make hot pepper vinegar, and my secondary goal is to make some hot sauce over the winter. My husband made our homemade hot sauce batch a couple years ago, and we're still working through that. So I think by the time it's hot sauce season, like we'll have peppers, that we might be ready to make some new hot sauce. Okay, so I still have more seeds. I told you this was a big thing. These I think I'll go a little faster with, because some of them are just different colors of the same thing, or like herbs and such. So I'm just going to show you what I've started, and that way if it's a thing that you have meant to start or forgot about, you might think, okay, let me go ahead and start it. So I've got my straw flower trio here. I have copper red, I have vintage white, and silvery rose. All of these packs are from In My Gardener. I've really enjoyed dried flowers. I have little dried flower bouquets still hanging above my windowsill. I need to just go ahead and put them in a vase. But they are just very antique and hassle-free, because they don't need water. You can just put them in a vase and there you go. So I have some straw flowers from last year, and I want to get some longer stems. So we're going to put them in better sun and hopefully get some better stems. And along the straw flowers line, gomphrena is another really good one to dry. My mom has a gomphrena wreath that she got from somewhere, and it's just a wreath with gomphrena flowers around it, and it's so pretty. So I did grow some last year in the shade, and I'm going to try it in better light, better sun, see if I can get longer stems. These are another one that are just so easy. Nothing eats these plants. They're just existing and making flowers for you. So I thought with how easy they are, it wouldn't hurt to throw some seeds around. Speaking of flowers, I winter sowed a couple lavenders, the Munstead and English Tall Vera. I also winter sowed some lady lavender seeds that I had from my sister. I've never gotten those to germinate, probably my fault. So we'll see. It's like 76 degrees today. I think winter sowing is over. We'll see. I don't think they're going to get the cold stratification they're supposed to have, and you know, and just putting it out there, and whatever happens will happen. I also started some dahlia seeds. I only let myself start 4. These are giant, literally called giant mix dahlia. So I'm not going to do a ton. It would be so fun to do a ton of dahlias. I did start 4. They're a beautiful flower, and the fun thing is, if you haven't heard, when you buy them by seed, you don't know what the dahlia is going to look like. You have no idea. So it literally could be like multi-petaled, multi-layered, single petals. Who knows? And if it's great, maybe I can figure out how to save it over the winter. So lastly, I'm just going to rapid fire through my herbs that I started. See what y'all have already done, or if you're a little behind or a little ahead. I've got some red sorrel, red veined sorrel, bloody dock. I've seen this in some cool places. A lot of people put it in the landscapes like for decorative reasons, and I've even seen it in some aquascaping videos, like the aquarium tutorials and ponds, people building decorative ponds. This seems to be a water-loving plant, but it is so easy. I have 2 in the garden right now. It doesn't need much of anything. It only needs 4 hours of sunlight, so it's pretty, and I'm just gonna put some more out there. They apparently have a lemony taste. Mine that are out there right now are so little, I've never harvested from them, but I'm sure they'll grow this year. I'm starting some more mint and lemon balm. I don't use mint much, but the mint plant I have was looking kind of sickly at the end of the year. So I wanted some fresh mint, just in case that pot that I have the mint in right now is unhealthy. Lemon balm is so good for iced tea, and I have some dried lemon balm. I have a lemon balm plant, and as it's warming up, my lemon balm plant is coming back. So if I don't get good germination on these 2, I won't bother with it, but I mean, I'll probably get fine germination. Either way, I'll have plenty of mint and lemon balm. And then I was thinking about starting some thyme, but my thyme plant made it through the frost. I don't think my rosemary plant did, though. I might just buy rosemary because I don't have seeds for that. And it's so late in the spring. It'd be May before I have any significant rosemary if I started it from seed. Flatleaf parsley is the way to go. It's so easy to grow. And with it being biennial, I'm starting parsley all the time. But somehow last year, I just didn't have enough parsley, so I started a ton of it. Oh, and the basils. I went ahead and started basil. Italian Genovese. Spicy Globe. It is so cute and round. And then a sweet basil. I today made some basil pesto pasta, and I'm almost to the end of my basil pesto from last year. It's very sad. I purposely made less in 2022 than I did in 2021, because in 2021 I made so much pesto that we were kind of forcing ourselves to finish it. So I think I need to find the middle ground. I didn't make enough last year, so I'm gonna dial it up. And man, that's one thing I will preserve this year. I'm not gonna let some pesto season go by me without preserving that. Last 2 things here. Got some Tetra dill, which is supposed to be a more heat tolerant variety. This year I'm gonna put it in a good spot, give it plenty of sun. I sometimes don't do that because I don't have a lot of sun, but I want to make sure I get some dill going. And I like the shape of it. I really want to see this dill grow. I've really only grown the bouquet dill, and it's a tall plant. This one looks more bushy. It would be just fun to see. And then I tried to start this caraway over the winter outside, and that did not work. I just put it in a pot and just said good luck. So I started a couple seeds indoors as well. The only thing I don't have to show you is my bachelor button mix. I saved some bachelor button seeds from plants my mom gave me. She had some growing in her garden, gave me some plants, and then I saved seeds. So now I have my own special mommy's mix of bachelor buttons. And I threw some seeds in the ground already just to see if they would go ahead and germinate for me. They were so pretty in the spring. Only other seed starting thing I want to show you, I got my first fan at Walmart, Wally World. I have just got it, so I haven't tried it out, but if you are looking for a small fan, this, oh, that was the Spanish side, the on-the-go multi-powered folding fan. It was like $13, and I like it because it doesn't need a cord. So I put batteries in it. It has 3 speeds, and I'm going to use it with my seedlings just so they can get some wind, try to strengthen up the stems. In years past, I've noticed that that's something I've been missing. I've been meaning to buy a fan. I just could not find one secondhand that was any good. I've been looking for like 2 years. And, you know, I've looked online and just never pulled the trigger because I kept thinking, oh, I'll find a cheap fan somewhere. And you know what? Walmart. I finally just said, let's see what Walmart has. and I'm excited because I can put it anywhere along my seedling shelves. So I started all these seeds. I really have nothing to show for it yet. Everything's still under the ground, or else I would show you. But I would love to hear what you've already started, especially since we're all getting close. I know it's about time to start tomatoes. That's going to come up for me here in the next week or two. So let me know what you've started, and otherwise, thank you for watching this video, and please consider subscribing if you want to hear updates of how everything does as we start in the spring.